Good morning, hi, and welcome to this live. I wanted to come and talk to you about feeling this morning, and like when we feel something, that can be like a physical sensation within us, or it can be like an emotional sensation. And even when it's emotional, there's a physical feeling underlying it as well. And so I did want to talk about feeling, but also like being very honest and authentic and true with how you're feeling in the moment. And I also want to talk about some of the oils and things that are going to really support some of these deeper emotional and physical stresses that may be having an impact on your body. So feelings, they are really emotions in motion throughout your body. So you can feel things, like you've got a feeling about things and it starts as an emotion, but often it can like end up as a physical sensation as well. So, you know, sayings like I feel heartbroken or I'm just not feeling myself, they all they touch upon the emotional and the physical sort of elements of feeling, and we feel them in our body. We've got these feeling, pain, emotion receptors all throughout our body. We've got we talk about a gut feeling, our we're heartfelt and we're heart led, or whatever it might be. You've just got a feeling. It's a physical sensation, but there's emotions behind it as well. So I do want to talk. I know, I'm feeling. There's a lot of people with a lot of emotional and physical stress out there, and if we let that play out too long, then that's also going to reduce immunity. It ends up in different aches and pains throughout the body. So I think it's worth acknowledging like where we're at in terms of our physical, emotional stress, and feel it in our body, feel where it might be, but also take steps to just explore it, or to be able to lift it and change its state so that we're not completely just staying stuck within an emotional state that might not be serving us. So I also want to talk in terms of some of the essential oils that are going to help shift things. So the way that essential oils can help us emotionally and physically, these are very, very well researched findings of the ways that essential oils are able to support the body and our emotional states. So in terms of our emotional state, so say if I get an essential oil and I smell it, or if I actually acknowledge, if I just sit here and acknowledge that I'm just so much in my mind, I'm really stressed, I feel like my head's just running the show, I can't switch off my mind at night, it's just running and I can't sleep and I just can't unwind, my body's tense because of that. If all of that might be going on for you, then you might want to get out of your head and just really ground yourself. Take a big breath and just feel where you're at. This is a great oil to be able to support you in being able to shift that state and really ground yourself. And this is an oil called Balance. This oil has many of the trees within it. It's got hoewood and spruce, it's got frankincense, it's also got blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus. So if you can think of trees that are really just like not going anywhere, I'm really grounded, rooted, I'm pretty solid. I'm not flighty and my head's not going everywhere. I'm just completely solid, rooted into the ground. Also some small like chamomile flowers, and we know chamomile is incredibly calming on the body. So that's what this particular oil blend is all about. It's about grounding and calming you, switching off your overactive brain that might be sending you thoughts just completely not serving you because it's just picking up on anything that is running through your mind. And you may even, I know this is going to sound funny, but a lot of humans have this tendency to just stick with sort of a chemical cocktail running through their body, and a particular thought wave, or worrying about things, or just attaching our mind to, I haven't done this yet, oh, the house is just not clean enough, oh, like all those kind of states can really anchor you in to this almost like a benchmark of a stress level. And if you're not there, you don't feel yourself, because that's your normal self. So when you acknowledge, like, this is just not serving me, I've got to switch off my brain, just ground myself, and get out of this stress state. Balance is a really great one to help that happen. Then another oil that can also really help to calm and get out of that kind of stress state, or that chemical cocktail of not being able to switch off the mind, especially at night time, and you want to bring a bit more calm into your body, into your mind. Then lavender peace is another fantastic oil, which includes lavender and marjoram, ylang ylang, frankincense. So a lot of beautiful flowers, again, flowers and trees that are going to help just really settle your mind and settle your heart and be able to bring you into a much more restful state. So balance and lavender peace are really wonderful for bringing that sort of emotional angst and pain out of such a state, so that you can really relax and just start to feel yourself again and feel grounded and feel in a much more restful space. This one's also got a lovely base note of vanilla in it too, so this one has got a really lovely, almost romantic kind of a smell to it. So that's lavender peace and balance, really, really good for emotionally settling. I also wanted to talk to you about, this is like a really amazing heavy hitting kind of oil. If you haven't heard about Helichrysum before, or Helichrysum, this one comes from the immortelle plant, or the immortelle flower from Corsica. So the immortelle plant is also known as like the everlasting flower. So once picked, they never ever basically die. They just stay, they're crisp, amazing yellow flower, like they're the everlasting flowers that I know from my childhood. And when you smell it, it does smell kind of Band-Aid like, and that's for a reason. It's also known as liquid stitches. So on a physical level, when you are suffering from pain, or you've cut yourself and you just want to instantly just coagulate the blood instantly, this one is like it's liquid stitches, so it's going to stop the bleeding. So this one is a great one to have in the first aid kit. So it is the oil of pain. And a quick little story of a very good friend of mine in Canberra who had some knee surgery. She had a subsurface bruising happening, and her doctor said to her, look, this is going to sound a bit weird, and like it's not something I would normally prescribe, but I can't think of anything else to do for your subsurface bleeding. And what they prescribed was this doTERRA Helichrysum. This is in a rollerball bottle, only on special for the till tomorrow. But you can also buy a little 5 ml pure bottle of this oil. And he said to my friend, put this on the bruising, because this is what's going to help stop the subsurface bleeding happening. It's the only thing that he could think of that would really support her. There's nothing in the medical industry that could support, but Helichrysum as an essential oil, that's the way it can deeply support sort of a subsurface or bleeding that might be happening, to just support the body in stopping too much, and then be able to heal a lot more quickly. Emotionally, Helichrysum is also the oil of pain, and so emotionally this is going to support people who have had pain, really deep pain in their life, maybe trauma, emotional trauma, whatever may have occurred that have caused some deep emotional wounds. Helichrysum is also a wonderful oil to support people to just start to heal from those deep wounds. So this is going to work with the olfactory bulb, with the limbic part of the brain, again, as a lot of the the emotional side of these oils do. Also, it will work throughout the body, because we don't just hold emotional pain in our brains. It's actually like throughout the entire body, and at the surface of every cell, there's a whole range of chemical receptors, and these are emotional receptors as well. And so that's where these oils, if you roll it on the back of your neck or on your wrists, bottom of your feet, that's where these oils are going to sort of go in through the bloodstream and get into every cell of your body. So that's how these will help at a cellular level, which is where we also hold a lot of emotions. So this one's really good for deep emotional pain. It's also going to be helping people to see that often our emotional pain is the greatest teacher in our life as well. If we don't feel an emotional pain or a wounding or something's just so not right in our life, we will never shift. And so, some of those memes that you might see also say, if this thing that didn't happen to me, this crisis, this trauma, I would never have made the leap to where I wanted to really be or whatever. So, I don't want to get to that stage. You can certainly make your mind up that like this part of my life is not serving me. I'm not happy. I'm in a lot of emotional pain here. And when you are in emotional pain, it is a really good indicator to do something about it too. We know that if you do struggle with emotional pain for way too long, it will end up as a physical pain. I know for myself, like I went for a massage last week with a friend and she got into the back of my neck and she said, "Oh, this is like rocks in here." And often like pain on your shoulders and the back of your neck is also related to having too much responsibility in your life and you're holding it. You've got the weight of the world on your shoulders, as they say. So that's sort of pain through the neck and the back of the neck. Definitely too much responsibility. The weight of the world's on you. If you've got pain in your lower back, that can often be an emotional thing around finances and cash and feeling of financial security in the world. So if back pain is an issue, then that could be the emotional center of that. Apparently, pain in the knees is all about ego, and there's too much ego going on in your life, and that might need to be explored a little bit. So they're just some of the typical areas that might have an emotional anchor in the physical pain that you may experience from time to time. So that's Helichrysum, amazing. So if you don't have Helichrysum, please get some. It's an amazing oil to have in the first aid kit, to have on hand at any time for emotional pain, etc. Now the next thing that I would love to show you is this ice blue rub. So this is another, like more for the physical side of physical stresses, and as I mentioned before, you may hold pain sort of all throughout your body in different places or different points throughout different times of the month. For me, I get a little bit of like menstruation pain. This is fantastic for me. Some ice blue rub on my tummy and then in a clockwise direction, and a heat compress is going to help really help in that area. So with the ice blue rub, this has basically got a whole bottle of this ice blue oil, which is a combination of wintergreen, camphor, peppermint. What else has it got in there? And also some blue tansy in there too. It is a blue oil. And this one is really great for sort of physical pain. This will go a lot deeper than anything you could get over the counter at a pharmacy. It's just a fantastic pre and after sport kind of rub, and you've got to experience this to believe it. It's also known as the man converter, so I can see a couple of men watching this now, but this is also, if the men in your life don't believe essential oils can have an impact on you, physically or emotionally, give them a rub down with this, because you soon feel it. You can really feel it going deep very, very quickly. So that's really acknowledging a lot of sort of emotional, physical pains and different ways you can be able to support them through the oils. Now, the very last oil I want to mention, which is part of this amazing special that doTERRA have got on until 10 a.m. tomorrow, is Motivate. So if you are in an emotional rut or in a pain that you're just kind of stuck and you're procrastinating and you're resisting something or whatever might be going on, then the Motivate is going to help lift you out of like that energetic rut that you just can't quite shift. This is going to help you be able to just get on with life and really get into the thing that you've been avoiding, that you should be doing. So Motivate is a combination of citrus and mint, and so when you combine citrus and mint, for me it's kind of like an afternoon coffee kind of feeling. You feel like this little buzz that's happening in you, and I don't have coffee in the afternoon, but if I did, this is how buzzy I would be feeling for the rest of the day. This is just a beautiful blend of wild orange and yuzu and peppermint, and it's also got some melissa in there as well, which is one of the sort of lowest yield for the tiny little lemon balm leaves, and it can really support, sort of just seeing the light, just going, okay, like light bulbs are on now, and I'm going to go ahead and do what I need to do. So that's the motivate. So why am I showing you these five items for emotional and physical stresses? Because these are actually on offer on an incredible special from doTERRA until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Friday. And so if you buy all of these are on sale for only $127, which is pretty awesome. So if you've got your account, many of us have already snapped up this deal. If you do have an account, definitely buy a set before 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And if you don't have a doTERRA account, then certainly please get in touch with me. I'd love to be able to support you in that and get these oils into yours and your children's and your husband's life. And you'll feel differently. Like, trust me, you do. So thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.